Good morning and welcome back to White Mountain Today here on White Mountain TV 16. Joining us right here in the studio is Ethan Paulini from the Weathervane Theatre up in Whitefield.
Whitefield.
Took a drive down this morning.
I did. It was a beautiful drive. It was worth it. It's great.
It's an easy drive, too.
Oh, yeah. Piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
Especially.
So the Weathervane Theatre, I think this is the first time you guys have been on our program here.
I believe so, yeah.
And so I've spent some time and then looking it up and then chatting with you. And it sounds like a great place.
It is a great place. We're in our 54th season. We are a alternating repertory theater. We are one of very few theaters in the country that still operate under this calendar system. We are the only Actors Equity Theater that operates under this calendar system that still exists. And it's unique. We do 7 main stage productions. We do a special event concert. We do an opening and a closing of the season. We do 4 theater for young audience shows, so we've got a lot going on.
I was looking at the web. There was just more and more.
Tons, yeah.
And I want to explain about the alternating repertory, and I teased it earlier, is that traditionally a lot of theaters, they'll show, they'll put on a show for the first week in July, and a second show for the second week in July, and a third show. But what you guys do is a show opens, and then another show opens, and so in 1 week, you could see 4 different shows.
Yeah, actually, at the height of the season, there are 6 shows running in a 7-day period.
That's awesome.
Not even mentioning all of the, like I said, theater for families and the kids shows in the morning. Yeah, it's our actors arrive next week, and in the first 2 weeks, we rehearse 3 shows. They all open within, one opens Tuesday, one opens Wednesday, and one opens Saturday, and then they start alternating while we continue to add shows to the repertory. So it's challenging for the actors and for the designers and directors, and it's a unique experience for the audience.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And if you're only up here visiting for a week or whatever, and you can see all those shows.
Absolutely.
And as so often happens, a theater will put on a show, and then a week later, oh, did you go and see this show? Oh, I missed it.
Yep.
But with you, oh, did you go see Sister Act? No, I missed it last week. That's okay. It's playing in the end of August again.
Yeah, it's great. So we love doing it this way. I will say. Yeah. I think when people come here for the first time as an actor or whatever their capacity is, they look at the schedule and they sort of get nervous, and we explain to them, oh no, once you get here you'll see how it works, and then it's like it's the only way you want to do it.
Absolutely.
It's really exciting.
And I think also for an audience member, besides watching the show, is we had talked about the sets and the decorations, because you've got to flip them out. It's usually you build a set, you tear it down, you build a set, but you've got to figure out a way. So I think that'd be fun to sit there going, wait, I recognize the back side of that. Because I love seeing what you can do with sets, especially ones that spin or have some interaction with that.
Yeah, we've got great designers and a great crew, and that extends to really every part of it. It's also coming up with a company of actors who can be in lots of different shows. It's about doing, even when I'm selecting the shows in the fall of the year previous, it's about what shows are going to go together. What shows have similar needs in terms of casting or design, that are going to really complement each other, and also aren't going to be just 7 of the same thing. You have to provide a variety.
Right, and I was looking at the schedule. You've got some great shows.
Yeah.
White Christmas, that's an interesting one to do this time of year. But if you really think about White Christmas, it just happens. The last day of the movie or the show is Christmas. Everything else just happens to be winter.
That's exactly right. That's what I keep saying. I say rewatch the movie when someone questions it, because it's actually about a troupe of New York actors coming up to save a barn in Vermont.
Right.
So we're in a barn. We just happen to be in New Hampshire. Yeah. And a lot of the times when people come to see it, I think they'll forget that, Sisters and Blue Skies and all, I Love a Piano and all these famous Irving Berlin songs are in it. And they just used Christmas as a sort of an outside framing device, and the rest of it is just an old-fashioned, musical comedy.
Yeah. So, it's a great one. It's such a fun show. Yeah. And then you've got Sister Act coming up.
So those are the bookends of the season.
Yeah.
We've got those two big musicals. Yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't seen it. I've read the book, and I would love to see it as a show. A Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Unbelievable story.
It's an incredible book. It's an incredible adaptation. The play won the Tony Award and the Olivier Award in London. Ran for years in both places. We are especially excited this year because Katie Huffman, who won a Tony for playing Ula in The Producers on Broadway, is coming up to direct that show for us. So we have some, that's a very exciting little extra bonus. And that's one that when we were doing our auditions in New York, that had the most interest amongst actors, for sure. Yeah.
And then, so when is what is opening night for your show?
So we open with a show called Bubble and Squeak, which is an evening where we introduce the company. The company gets to sing songs of their choosing, as well as preview songs from the shows. It's really a fun night. And this year we have a partnership with Harvard Pilgrim Health, and they have underwritten the cost of the tickets, so it is free to the public.
Great.
The tickets are going to go really fast when we put them on sale next Monday, but we're really excited to be able to open that up and invite everyone in to sort of see what we're going to be up to in season 54.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then the following week
and then White Christmas opens on the 9th, and a great play called 6 Dance Lessons in 6 Weeks opens on the 10th, and Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill opens on the 13th, and from there we just keep adding to it. Drowsy Chaperone, Bright Star, and just keeps rolling along.
And it is an eclectic mix of shows.
Yep, definitely.
So that's fun.
Yeah, that's what our subscribers want. It's what our artists want to work on. You don't want to do the same thing day in and day out. You want that variety. We've got, Sister Act has sort of a disco feel, and then Bright Star has a very bluegrass country folk feel. So it gives everyone an experience of variety. So.
And tell us about the theater itself, the building.
Yep, it's a beautiful old New England barn. Actually, the main structure is the original structure, and then we've built just in 2012, we rebuilt a really state-of-the-art theater. It's 250 seats, very comfortable. There is not a bad seat in the house because it's got a center aisle, so like the sight lines are just fantastic from wherever you're sitting. I personally, when I sit and watch a show, want to be in the back and in the corner, and everyone says, "Don't you want to be up front?" No, because you can see just as great from really anywhere in the theater.
That's a nice little bonus because sometimes theaters. That's a great you get to see the show, but you're sitting off to the side.
This is really dead on.
So that's great.
It works. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what are some of the other things you have? You mentioned about the concert, the Spring Awakening concert, done with your interns. That's a neat.
Yeah. So the interns, I came to Weathervane as an actor in 2012, and then I was brought back and remained involved for a number of years, and then in 2017 took over as the director of the intern company. And the interns are this year there's 12 of them. They are from really the best programs, musical theater programs in the country, and it's a really competitive thing to get into this program because they get equity membership candidate points, which leads them to their union card, and they get to work with people like Katie Huffman, who won a Tony, and other top-notch theater artists, and they form our patchwork players that do the theater for young audiences. And then in addition, they round out the ensemble, they understudy roles on the main stage. And I thought, there's got to be a way to highlight them a little bit more. And a show like Spring Awakening that is all young people is not something we would normally be able to do because we need all ages in our acting company to be able to portray lots of different stories. Right. So I thought, well, maybe we could do a show that's just for the interns to really highlight them. We have two of our recent alums from the intern program. One is a young actor named Ariel Stachel, who just won the Tony last year for Best Featured Actor in a Musical for The Band's Visit. And then this year we had Brittany Johnson, who made history because she was the first black actor to play Glinda in Wicked on Broadway. So when I say these are the top-notch future stars of the American theater, they really are. They're really terrific. cool, dynamic group of young artists. So this is a way to really highlight them. So they get 3 performances this summer in Spring Awakening.
Yeah, and that's an incredible show. That just musically and there is a show where you say it's a concert. You're doing it as a concert. And it holds up. I mean, just to sit there and listen. Yeah. And the songs tell their story anyway. So you're
absolutely
able to get that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great. I'm excited to be able to give it to our audiences in some way.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrific.
Yeah.
So you are really a traditional summer stock theater.
Yep. Yeah, we are one of those old-fashioned throwbacks, but we sort of, because of the way that we do it and because of the artists that we engage, we're sort of evolving and keeping it keeping ourselves on our toes. So it's definitely not. That is something I will say that this is my first full year as producing artistic director. I was acting artistic director last year, and this is all of our shows. Even though something like White Christmas might be many years old, all of these shows are new to Weathervane audiences. They've never been performed on this stage before, and I think sometimes people think summer stock and they think, oh, so every 5 years they do Guys and Dolls, and every 10 years they do Hello Dolly. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm excited to be able to continue to give audiences something new and fresh.
Well, that's great. So what's the best way, if people are interested, to get tickets and reserve tickets?
Yep. So weathervanetheatre.org is the easiest way. It's weathervanetheatre.org. You can call our box office, 603-837-9322. And our box office opens for walk-up sales beginning next Monday, June 24th. And we're open 10 a.m. till curtain time every day.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So great opportunity. Like you said, the drive down here, so if someone's watching from here, it's not a bad drive. It's a nice little zip up to Whitefield.
Yep.
And really go up early, make an afternoon of it or a day, and enjoy Whitefield. It's a neat spot up there.
Yeah, it's a great space, and we've got the Inn at Whitefield right next door, which is a fantastic restaurant that does all sorts of like dinner packages, and she promotes the shows, and it's really a fun little campus for people to spend an afternoon or an evening.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
I look forward to hearing more about it. And I tell you, I love that schedule. I think that's so much fun.
Yeah,
so much
thanks.
Fun. Ethan, thanks again. And we'll be back here in a minute on White Mountains Today.